That's 7, right? Online people are able to see my screen. Thank you. So, third most is very difficult. Very difficult to explain. Vipul Gupta. So that is the last concept of the Salesforce. At that time, I will explain you. For you, if I explain the entire, what about that? The remaining people are disturbed. Okay, that is the last concept, not now. Okay, guys. So yesterday we discussed simple. What is meant by object? Which is having some properties, that is called object. Properties means either length or width or something like that. Okay. In this case, in our case, assuming that this is the container, this is one object, guys. Okay. Now in this object, we need to find out the volume. Understand here? We need to find out that this is the real-time entity, right? This is the real-time entity. That means in the real world, this object already existing. How do you know this object already existing? Which is occupies some space. And other definition is which is having some properties. If it is having some properties, it occupies some space. Understand? So now here, first of all, I need to find out the volume. Okay, how to find out the volume? So volume of, just for theoretical guys, volume of container is equal to length into width into height. This is the formula, right? We know already as per academics. So now, for example, it is like, now see, volume of the container is a property. Again, see length, width, height. Length, for example, 10 meters. Width, for example, 7 meters. And height around like, this one is like 5 meters. Okay, this is the container. So these are the properties of the container. Understand? So length, width, height. If you are using some formula, length into width into height. What is the length? 10 into 7 into 5. Then what do we get? 70, 350, right? So that means container volume is equal to 350, right? Container volume is equal to 350. 350 also again one more property of the container. Understand? So length, width, height is a direct properties of the particular object. Depending on the properties, we are calculating something, then we will get some another, what about the result? That is the indirect property. Understand? Without length or without width or without height, we are unable to calculate the value. So that means here these are the length, width, height are the direct properties based on your logic. What is the logic here? Length into width into height. That is your logic. Understand? Technically we call it the logic. In our textbooks or whatever we call it the formula. Understand? We are writing in the paper volume of the exam something, volume of the length, volume of the container is equal to length into width into height is equal to 10 into 7 into 5 is equal to 350. That is the volume of the container. That is the notebook. Now the same thing we need to convert into the whatever technical way. Okay, the same thing we need to write the code way in our Salesforce. Okay, here the terminology is length, width, height is a properties. Okay, this is the indirect property. This is the result. How we are getting? Using some logic. In the whatever textbooks we call it is a formula. Here it is a logic. Okay, what is the logic? Length into width into height is a logic. Understand? That logic we need to write in our Salesforce using Apex. Understand? So the same thing, whatever you are written here in our textbook or notes in the academics, the same thing we need to write in our Salesforce using Apex programming language. That's it. Understand how to write the same language. So then whenever you are writing this logic in our Salesforce, the Salesforce runtime engine, understand, length into width into height. What is the length? 10, 7, 5. Then it is calculating result. The result will be getting the out as a output. Okay, simple guys. Now here the problem here is how to define length is equal to 10, width is equal to 7, height is equal to 5 in our Salesforce. Okay, in the normal way we called this length, width, height is a properties. Understand? Properties. In the Salesforce we called it is a variables. What is that? Variables. In the real time properties similar to in our technical way we call it is a variables. Understand one by one step. Okay, variables. That means if you want to perform any logic in the notes, we are directly, for example, in the mathematics, what do you say? We are declaring variables, right? How? Length is equal to 10. Width is equal to 7. Height is equal to 5. In the notes we are writing like this. Same way in the Salesforce you need to write as a variables. But in the notes how to write the variables we know already. Using a paper something, height is equal to something, blah blah, then calculating something. But in the Salesforce how to write that? Right? In the Salesforce or in the technology, in the technical way, how to write this. Okay. So now that means understand, in our academics we have paper something, right? We have a paper. On the paper we write that variables. Okay. Now in the Salesforce we have, these people are provided one, what about that? Same in the real time we call it as a, what about the paper? Here it is a editor. What is that? Editor. In that editor you need to write whatever you want. Okay, in the Java there is some editors are there, same like in the Salesforce also there is some editor is there. Okay, so in the Salesforce we called that editor. There is so many things are there, I will explain you. As of now in the Salesforce we are called editor, generally called, not only Salesforce, generally called, we required to write your logic, we required one editor. Understand? In the Salesforce these people are provided that editor called developer console. What is that? See, developer console. Again I will explain you, no need to worry about that. This is the developer console. Here you need to write not only one, guys, there is so many things are there, but as a learner it is fine. Okay, understand? So maximum 90% of people using this. Okay, even me also. So this is the developer edition, sorry, developer console. Okay, within the developer console you need to write your logic. Okay, where to write, how to write, first of all we can understand that terminology first. Okay, now in the real time it is a paper, in our case it is a developer console. Okay, we are using some other editors also, but as of now leave it. Okay, developer console is mandatory to write your logic. Okay, so this is developer console. Here you are writing the logic. Okay, so how to write the logic first? In the paper directly length is equal to 10, width is equal to 7, height is equal to 5. In this developer console, how to write that? Why? Because if you write the on the paper, okay, our examiner or something, our whatever whoever validator, that guy is easily understand, then he gave the mark, something like that. But here once you are writing some logic, that variables and everything, who will read that? Right? Whatever, see, once I'm writing some logic here in the developer console, how to write I will tell you. Okay, so who will validate that? Who will validate that? Here before that, one second, properties. Who will validate that? Here there is a one word called, I already explained you, compiler. Compiler is a first validator your code. Once you are writing your logic and click the save button, the compiler is a one more program which is designed by the Salesforce. So the compiler, for example, you are writing the code like 1 to 50 lines of the code, assuming that, then you are saving it. Then whenever you are click on the save, the compiler come to the picture. Compiler is not any tool, it is a one program which is developed by the Salesforce. In the Java also compiler is there, that is developed by the Java people. In the .NET also compiler is there, that is developed by the .NET people. Every technology their own compilers are there. Understand? So once you are writing the logic in your developer console, whenever you are click on save, the compiler come to the picture and check whether you are writing the proper code or not. Understand? Who will check that? Like it is a teacher. Understand? So it is checking everything good. Then after you are run this means we are getting the result, right? Then it is hand over to it is not a motor engine something. Runtime engine means it is another program. Understand? This program, okay, first this guy checking your whatever the code is correct or not. Then once it is code is correct, your program is saved. Then we need result. So you need to run the program. Click the button something. At that time, whatever the logic you are written, that logic is executed by the runtime engine. This runtime engine executed your logic, then you are getting the result. Understand? So see guys, in the Salesforce point of view, if you want to write the code, we have a those people are provided the developer console. Within that there is so many areas are there, I will explain you. So in the developer console, how to write, I will explain you. So once you are writing the logic, for example, you are writing 1000 lines of the code. Whenever you are click on the save, who will come? The compiler come to the picture and check your code is correct or not. It is checking the first line. If it is correct, then go to the second line, then third line, like a teacher guys. Okay, if anything wrong, then it is showing the what about the throw and one message. That message is called error. Again, this is the other concept, but I'm just introducing the what about that wording. Okay, terminology. Compiler check your code. If anything is wrong, then it is throwing one message. That message is called error. So everything good, your code is saved. Then you need to click the button or something, right? If you click the button or something, the code is executed for result. What about our code? Length, this is the logic. Your logic is length into width into height. Your logic is executed. Whenever it is executed, who will execute? The runtime engine will be execute your logic. Whenever it is executing, in that case, any whatever that unexpected thing is happen, again it is throwing in one message. That is called exception. Very, 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 very important in the what about the real time as well as in the interview. Error is different, exception is different. Simple, while you are writing the code and trying to save your code, the compiler come to the picture and check your syntaxes. If everything good, your code is saved. If any problem is occurred in the syntaxes, okay, then compiler send one message. That message is called error. Clear? Once everything good, your code is whatever saved. While you are executing your code, writing the code is different, executing your code. Whenever you are executing your code, the runtime engine come to the picture and executing your code. Okay? So then if any problem will be occurred, again it is throwing one message. That message is called exception. So in the interview, those people are asking, see guys, if you are asking anyone what is meant by error, all the people saying that error means error, not error means error. Error means, so that's the reason I told you that is a subject. Error means while you are writing the code and trying to save, in that case, compiler come to the picture and check all the syntaxes of your code. If any problem is there, that means any syntax is missing, then it is throwing one message. That message is called error. That means error will throw by the compiler. Compiler send the error message. Understand? Now everything good while you are running the code. While you are running the code, a runtime engine come to the picture and run your code. In that case, if runtime engine send any message, that message is called exception. This is the separate concept, guys, but one by one. It is like movie, okay? Titles and introduction, something like that. So that's the reason I'm just introducing these words, okay? But the same thing, we are already did that in the workflows, formula fields, while you are writing small logic. That is also one logic, guys. That window also one editor. While you are writing the code, check syntax something, compile come to the picture, and the syntax is missing, then we are getting one error. Something is missing. That is error. Understand? So this is the two terminal. Now here in our code, in the background, two things are happen. One is compilation, second one is execution. Understand? Compilation Compiler is doing the work and send one message. That message, anything is coming, that message is called error. After that, while you are running the code, runtime engine come to the picture and throw an, if anything is occurred, then it is throwing in one message. That message is called exception. If all are good, you are, whatever the third step, your result is coming. Compilation is good, then compiler didn't send any message. That means there is no errors. Then runtime engine executing your code. There is no unexpected things are coming. Then it is, what about that? Send the result. What is our result? Our volume of the program. What about that? Container. Understand? Every program, these steps are common. Any program in our Salesforce, not only Salesforce, wherever you go. So wherever you go, you are writing the code. Once you are writing the code, compiler come, then hand over to, if everything good, hand over to runtime engine. Runtime executing your code. If everything good, get the result. If you are not getting the result, means something is happened. Either execution way in the execution or compile time. Understand? But compile time we are easily recognize. Why? Because if any error is there, your code is not saved. Understand? So we are easily recognized. But runtime means executing your code. Whenever you are executing in the background, the runtime engine executing one by one line. If anything happen, okay, then it is sending that. What about that? Message. That is called exception. So that's the reason in the production maximum we are getting that exception messages. Why? Because your code is correct. There is no syntaxes. There is no syntactical missings. Okay. But while you are running, that means in the project level, guys, end up like after 5 years or 6 years, our project is like after completing the 5 years, we are moving to the production or something. At that time, in that 5 years, we are working with the thousands of classes, thousands of pages, something like that. Whenever we are moving to the production, we need to check every flow. That means code is correct. While you are running your code, then there is so many things are coming. Those are called exceptions. So that's the reason in the production, errors are not coming. These exceptions are coming. So that's the reason immediately you need to fix it. Otherwise, there is so much of, what about that? Business will be happen. Business lose some, what about that, revenue, something like that. So within that, while you are moving the code, immediately you can fix the exceptions. Understand? Why? Because the end user, we are moving the code to the production. That means it is a live environment. The customer come to the picture. Customer means client side people come to the picture. Those people are checking the entire flow is working or not, one by one. Whenever those people are one by one checking, at that time, what about that? That guy is entered the data and click on save. Then one message is coming. That is called exception. Hey, one message is coming. How to handle it? Immediately you can fix it. Understand? So that's the reason production is very crucial in our development phase. Understand? So this is what happened, guys. Clear? As of now. Okay. Now, forget about that. I'm writing the code, guys. I'm writing the code. Again, come to here. This is my object. First of all, how to, what about that? Define these properties as a variables in our, what about that? Editor. What is the editor? Developer console. In the developer console, how to define? In the paper directly you are writing like this. In the developer console, how to define this property. Why? Because once these variables we are declaring, after that we are writing the logic, then we are getting the result. Understand? The real-time properties converting as a variables. Here, please understand. I'm not explaining the entire flow. Why? Because that is OOPS concepts, but I don't want to touch everything. Simple, guys. This is one object. As of now, we are dealing with the container object related volume. Later, in the same project, I want to calculating some box area. Area means length into width. Understand? For example, this is a different object. What is the object? This is any object. I need to calculate car engine volume. Car engine volume. Okay. So car engine volume is in car engine already. This is the car engine, guys. Already car engine already existing. This is another object. Now you need to calculate container volume, car engine volume in the same project. Assuming that. So please understand. Forget about the technology. Please understand here there is a two objects. It is one is container. Container is different properties. Car engine is, if you want to calculate the car engine, there is no particular shape, right? That formula is different. Assuming that means these properties are different. Now in our project we are using two different objects, right? In our code we need to calculate two volumes. One is container, one is car engine. Understand? But these two are not similar. These two are not similar. For example, this is my developer console. Understand, guys? Very important. This is my this is the container. This is the, for example, this shape is different, assuming that this is the car engine. Both are two different objects. We know as a human being, container is different, car engine is different. That means both are having two different properties, right? Now we need to, for example, here what are the properties? This property, container, right? Container length, container width, container height. These are the properties. Now for example, I need to where to write in our dev console, developer console or dev console. In the Salesforce, this is the real time. I need to note down those properties and written in my developer console. For example, I don't want to explain the syntax as of now. Understand the concept. Container length, container width, container height. Okay. Here, for example, here also engine length, engine width, engine some diagonals, something like that. Diagonal shape, something. Engine height. These are the four properties. Now I need to store these properties in my developer console, right? In the Salesforce. So here also I am note down engine length, engine width, engine diagonal, engine height. Now how many properties? 7 properties. Now what is our task? Our task is calculating the container volume, engine volume. So now I need to write my logic. What is the logic? Container container volume is equal to. So which properties I am using? Container length into container width into container height. Understand? So see guys, these are all the properties. These properties, if you want to calculate container volume, see guys, here I'm only using, what about that? I'm only using container related properties only, not car engine properties. Understand? So how do you know this logic? Please use container properties. For example, this is the engine volume is equal to engine length something. The formula is different, divided by engine width plus engine height minus something. This is the formula, assuming that engine diagonal. This is the formula for car engine volume, assuming that. Now understand guys, here there is a two formulas here. One is car volume, container volume. Second one is car engine volume. Both are container volume utilizing the container related properties. Car engine volume logic is utilized the car engine related properties. Then only we are getting the proper result. But how do you know the runtime engine? Hey, use this, use this. For the first logic you can use this, second logic you can use this. Why? Because this is mixed with our developer console. We are mixed with the different object properties. Okay, so it is confused. If it is only in the developer console, if you are only define container properties and container logic, then it is only container result is coming. But here what happened? We are already, for example, here car engine, container, some other two objects are there. All the four object properties you are put it together in the one area. So we are unable to utilize properly. We are not getting proper results. Understand? So that's the reason, first of all, what we will do, first, this is the real-time properties, right? These properties I need to put together in one area. Here I need to put container length, container width, container height, and that related logic. What is that? Container volume is equal to container length into container width into container height. Now we are easily identified. Oh, this is so. In the developer console, if you are defined like this, oh, here container length, container width, container height, and container volume. This is belongs to container related logic. Same like here. I don't want to write. Engine length, engine width, engine height. Now engine volume is equal to something. What is that? The formula something. We are already something. The formula. Engine length into something guys, engine width plus engine diagonal divided by engine height something. Assume that this is the formula. Now please understand guys, this is the real-time entity. That real-time entity related properties and the respective logic. That means we called in the technical action. Okay, the real-time entity properties and its actions we put together one area. Understand? Same like the real-time object properties and its action. That action. Understand? Put together in one area. So this is the real-time entity. Grab the properties and put one area and add that logic. Understand? So you need to grab the real-time properties and put it one area, right? So here, while you are grab these properties and put here, we need some work. Okay, that is called what is that? 1 second, guys. I forgot that. Okay. That is called encapsulation. What is that encapsulation? Whatever already existing in the real-time object, that object properties and its actions, grab that and put it one area. Okay. For that, from real time to here, we are doing some work. That work is called encapsulation. Understand? That is the one of the OOPS concepts. I don't want to touch all the OOPS concepts, guys. Okay? Whatever required, I just touch it. So here, what is meant by encapsulation? Already in the real time, one object is there. that object properties and that logic, that action. Grab that and put it one area. Okay, that work, grab that and put it somewhere. So meanwhile I'm doing some work, right? That work is called encapsulation. That work is called encapsulation. Once encapsulation is done, so see here also container related properties put here, container related action put here. Then same like that. This is engine related properties, engine related action put both together in one area. Understand? Once like that, for example, I have 10 objects. All the 10 objects, first object properties and its action. Second object property. Oh, sorry. Screen is not visible. Huh? Sorry guys, 1 second. Now guys, online people. Now, okay. So, container related properties and its action. Car engine related properties and its action. Some other object related properties and actions. All are put together one areas. Now, whenever you are put one object related properties and its actions, now we are get one new shape, new structure. Why? See, this is the, for example, simple guys in our home, our kids are playing. So, for example, that cubic boxes, some is there, right? We are the yellow color, blue color, like red color, the cubes are there, right? It is in the zigzag positions. Now we are tell that, hey, can you please arrange in the proper order? That kid is all the red cubes in one area, all the yellow color is there one area, all the blue color is one area. Arranged in one order. Then we are getting one proper shape, right? Right? Same like here also, particular object related properties and its action, put it together one area. That meanwhile we are doing some work. Grab the properties and its action, put it together in one area. That process is called encapsulation. Once encapsulation is done, one new shape is coming. That new structure is coming. What is the new structure? Object properties and its action. Second object properties and action. Third object properties and action. That new structure is called class. What is that? This new structure is called class. Understand? So we are already learned class, something like that. But how the class is defined means, class is, see, this is the class. In the technical way, this is the class. How the class is come to real time means, real time one object is there. The every object as per our definition having some properties. Using that properties, we need to calculate some, what about that? So using that properties, I need some result. Using that properties, I need some result. In our case, I need volume. So first, what I will do? Forget about the technology. I want to calculate the volume of the container, volume of the engine, volume of something, area of something like that. So I have 10 objects. But if you have put all the 10 objects related properties and related actions, it's messy. Okay, so that's the reason what I will do. First of all, first object related properties and that related logic. Whatever it is, if your volume is equal length into width into height, area is equal length into width, something like that. So first object properties and its action put together in one area. Second object properties and actions put it in one area. So that means the real time, I need to see the real time properties and put together in one area. In the, what about that? In our developer console or something. So this is, what about that? This is, I am doing some work. So this process is called encapsulation. This process from real time to, what about that? Technical, I am doing some process. That process is called, what about that? Encapsulation. Once encapsulation done, we have one shape, one structure. That structure, the new structure is coming. First object properties and action. This is one structure. Second object properties and its action. This is the second structure. Like that. That structure is there, right? We need one name. We need to provide one name. That name is called class. Understand? Class means now in the reverse way. As of now, we are coming from the real-time object and come to the technical way. In the reverse, now we are in the technical. So, in that shape, which shape? Here, what are they? Properties and actions, which is having properties and its actions. That is called class. So, simple class definition is which is having, what is that? Properties and its actions, right? That is called class. So, class is a, so if you see that some books are, class is a blueprint or red print, something like that, right? So, the main definition is which is having properties and its actions, that is called class. Understand? Which is having properties and its actions, that is called class. But please understand, guys, here the visualization is very important. This class, because of that object, real-time object, based on the real-time object, this class we create. Understand? Now, whenever you are working in our technical way, you need to first create the class. Within the class, what you need to create? First create the properties and actions. How to create the property, how to create the actions, different technology, different syntax are there. Clear? So now, as from today onwards, if you want to work anything, if you want to calculate area, if you want to calculate some calculator related sum or whatever it may be, first you need to create the class. Okay, class is a replication of the object. Understand? Why means, see, this class in the real time, this is an object. Object having properties, class having some properties, right? Because of this object, we are creating the class. Now, first of all, here, please guys, in the, what about that? In the interview, those people are asking encapsulation. Encapsulation means put the properties, object related properties and its actions together into single unit. Okay, that is called encapsulation. Or different way, guys, put the properties and its actions into single unit, or wrap the properties and its actions into a single unit. That is called encapsulation. Understand? Once encapsulation is done, one new structure is coming. That is called class. So, because of encapsulation, the new structure is coming. The new structure, there is no name. So, that's the reason the old people gave the name as class. Understand? So, and because of encapsulation, so class is an example of the encapsulation. Once the encapsulation done, a new structure is coming. That new structure is called class. Understand? So that's the reason class is a example of encapsulation. Encapsulation example of class. Okay? Encapsulation is a process. What is the process? Grab the properties and its action, put together into the single unit. That is called encapsulation. Once encapsulation done, one new structure is coming. That new structure is called class. Now onwards, if you want to perform any logic, or if you want to calculate something or whatever it may be, first you need to create the class in our Salesforce. Understand? How to create the class? How to create the class? Before that, if you want to create the class, before that, how to create the properties and how to create the action. Okay? First we need to discuss that. First, properties. In the real time, container length, container width, container height. How to define that properties in our Salesforce? If you define the, what is the syntax? If you learn that, what is the action? After that, how to create the class. Okay. So first, go to developer console for testing code, guys. This is the, see, first of all, you need to test the code. Temporary code. Temporary code means, see here, the debug is there, right? This is the developer console. Whatever you need to write, you need to come developer console. Here only you need to write all the things. One by one I will explain. So first debug. Go to the debug. Here open execute anonymous window. That means one window is coming. Okay. For example, you have one project, you need to write one logic. That logic is correct or not, we don't know. First of all, you need to write your logic in this anonymous window. Anonymous window means you need to test your logic first. If it's working fine, then you need to put wherever we want. Understand? This is the test environment. For example, you need to write the volume logic. You don't know whether it is getting the proper result or not. First of all, that logic you need to write here as a learner. For example, if you have experience, don't require. So as a learner, first you need to write the logic in the anonymous window. Anonymous means anybody using it. Anonymous means anyone. Write your logic here, test it. If it is working fine, then you need to put this logic wherever you want. Okay. First, in our case, I need to calculate the volume. So volume means, I understand guys, here, this is the, what about that? Container, right? Container having length, width, height. So I need to define container length. Please understand while I am writing the code how I am writing. See, whenever I am writing, this is the variable, right? I all told you. In our technical way, it is property is called as a variables. Okay, so this is the variable container length. Container length, see, I'm writing the here container length, 2 words it is. Whenever you are declaring, so it is recommended actually in the good companies. If you are not writing as it is, it should work, but code is not good. Output is coming, but it is not recommended. Please, there is some documentation is there. Salesforce already told you while you are writing the logic or while you are writing any code or whatever, you need to follow some whatever guidelines. So first guideline is, while you are writing, declaring any variable, the variable first word means you know, right? It is a combination of 2 words. Container is a 1 word, length is a 2nd word. The first word starting with a small case, the second word starting with a capital letter. Every variable, if you are not following, that is fine, but it is not recommended. Okay, output is coming, but you need to follow these guidelines. Then only, you have some knowledge on the guidelines. Understand? So while you are declaring any variable, that variable first word starting with the small letter, the second word, third word, up to n words, all are capital. Okay, for example, container length, text. How many words are there? 3. Container is the first word, so C is a small. Next, length is a 2nd word, L is a capital. Text is a 3rd word, T is a capital. Understand? So you need to follow same pattern while you are declaring any variable. So container length is equal to, for example, 10. Okay, this is the variable declaration. Now see guys, understand again. Here I'm writing on the paper. Who will validate that? Teacher. So here who will validate that? Compiler, right? Compiler. So first compiler check, compiler already having some instructions. Already compiler is a program, right? That program already having some instructions. Hey, declaring the variable as this, like this syntax. But see, I am declaring variable like this. We'll see whether it is correct or not. Okay. What is that? Line number 1, column number 19, unexpected token is equal to. That means this is not correct to declare the variable. Understand? So how to declare the variable? Now every line while you are writing any line in the Salesforce, every line ending with the semicolon, it is mandatory. Every line ending with the semicolon. If you want, you can write down. Okay, I don't want to capture this information in the documents. Okay, now content length is equal to 10. Every line ending with the semicolon. Now see, what is that? Line 1, variable does not exist. Why? That means compiler unable to understand that variable. Variable does not exist. That means container length, right? Container length, the compiler unable to understand what is meant by container length. So here this concept is very important. This is the memory management. Okay. So how the system understand in the back end. Okay, I all told you this is my interview question in the Salesforce. Okay, how the system, for example, here see container length is equal to 10. Container length is equal, I am adding SFDC. How the system knows container length is equal to SFDC is a string, container length is equal to 10 is a number. How the system understand? Understand? So before, whenever you are declaring any variable, first container length, right? This container length is a variable. Okay, this is having already some data. What is the data? Some 10, right? 10 is the data. First, this data, first of all, you need to store one memory space. Who will do that? Runtime engine do that. Runtime engine store this data in the, for example, in our Salesforce, this is our memory. Without storing that into the temporary memory or something, how we are calculating? Understand? So first, whenever the runtime come to here, okay, 10 means it is asking where I will store. Already RAM is there, right? Within the RAM also, that is a different concept, guys. It's a huge concept, but I will consolidate that all the concept the single sentence. Simple, guys. 10. Execution, any program execution is top to bottom. First listen that. Any program, for example, you are writing 50 lines of the code. The code is executing from top to bottom. That is called synchronous something. I will explain later. Top to bottom. Again, within the top to bottom, this is the first line. How it is executed from left to right or right to left means from right to left, the code is executed. Right to left. So first, the runtime engine come to here. Here 10. What is that? It is not checking the syntaxes. It is not checking the syntaxes. Oh, 10. 10 is a... The runtime engine is not a human being. 10, that runtime engine don't know 10 is a what it is. Okay, it is not a human being. As a human being, we know it is a whatever number. But runtime engine means whatever the one program. How she understand? Not she. How it is understand. Right? So 10. Oh, 10 means in the runtime engine point of view, 10 is a data. 10 is a data. Runtime engine point of view. But then it is asking, oh, this data will be stored in this variable. Okay, but in the memory management, for example, this is the memory. In the memory, it is storing the 10. Storing in the 10 in one block. Who? Runtime engine do that. This memory name is, what is that? That memory block name is container length. Like that, it is storing in the memory. It is not permanent storage, it is a temporary storage. But here the problem here is, for example, guys, the runtime engine container width is equal to 7. Next, container, I will write here, container height is equal to 5. Then volume is equal to, I don't want to write every variable, container length into container width into container height. For example, I'm writing the code like this. Understand, guys? Program is very simple. The background is very complicated. See, understand. I'm executing this code. Now what happened? I all told you the program is executing from top to bottom and right to left. So first top, this is the first line. And in the first line, right to left. What is the right? 10. 10 is equal to container length. Okay, then I need to store this 10 data in the particular memory location. That memory location name is container length. So now same, come to second line. 7 I need to store somewhere. That memory location name is container width. And randomly it is storing, assuming that 5. This data will be storing in the specific area. That name is this. Okay. Now 3 lines. 3 lines means declaring the variable and store this memory in some area, somewhere. It is already storing and put the names. Now, whenever it is come to here, whenever, for example, this memory location is 5 GB, assuming that 5 GB RAM, something like 5 GB. 5 GB means, can you tell me? Very difficult. GB to bits conversion. 5 GB, very huge value. For example, 5 MB, okay? Gigabytes. Where is that? Megabytes. Gigabyte, megabyte, terabyte, or megabyte, MB. 5 MB also, so many bits are there. Bit means, same like yesterday we discussed, like pixel. Pixel is a small, whatever the small resolution point, it is a pixel. Same like in the memory, guys, in the memory, the small memory point of the any memory location is, this is called bit. We know already 8 bits is equal to 1 byte, some 1024 bytes is equal to KB or MB, something like that, right? GB, terabyte, something. Now, first of all, runtime engine, 10 is a value, whatever 10 is that. So this 10, it is storing here. This is the total 5 GB. That means here there is crores of the bits are available. Within the crores of the bits, it occupies, if it's an integer, assuming that, it occupies like 4 bits, assuming that, or 8 bits. Crores of bits. For example, simple guys, you are in the US, simple, you are in the US, your marriage, okay? You need to invite your colleagues, okay? Just you said like, hey, come to my, for example, your village, some blah 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 village, okay? You are just inviting your friends, hey, come to my village name is this. Now, as a, for example, I am your colleague, how I am come to your village? For example, this is the memory, right? This is the world. Okay, you are in US. Okay, you are inviting your marriage, what about that, to your colleagues. Then you said like, hey, come to my village. Come to my village means in the worldwide there are so many villages are there, right? How to find out your village? That means you need to check first village in the worldwide. For example, that guy is grab the Australia first. Within the Australia states, within the states district means mandal. Within the mandal, first village, second village. Then your village is here. That means after you die, you will come to, that guy is come to your marriage, right? Why? Because in the world you are not specified your village where exactly. That means you are from US, in the US, that guy find out your village, it's very difficult. Now how you tell particular country in India, in the Telangana state, within the Telangana state, Hyderabad, within the Hyderabad, so and so mandal, and within the mandal, so and so, what about that village? Then that guy in the overall universe directly leave the countries. Only that guy, go to the India. Within the India, 23 states are there. Within the 23 states, directly come to the Telangana. Within the Telangana, there is so many districts are there. Within that, for example, I don't know how many districts in Telangana. So for example, 16. Within the 16, he don't want to check all the 16 districts. Only one district. That means 15 districts filtered. Within the one district, for example, 20 mandals or something is there. Within the 20, he picked the particular. That means the filter is very clear. He's directly reached to the destination. But here, apply the same concept. 10 is here. That means this is one village. 7 is here. And 5 is here. These are the crores of the villages, assuming that. Here it is there, here it is there, here. Now, whenever runtime engine come to here, first CH, container height. Then runtime engine go to the memory and check where is the CH. Check the first pixel, second, third, fourth, up to where is CH, container height here. Up to come to here, what about that? It is taking more than 1 week or 10 days to find out the particular value and replace here file. Same like come to double container width. Again, it's starting from 1 pixel to up to where is that 7 here. It is taking 5 days. Then 5. It is taking 3 days. Total fetching the data from memory, it is taking more than 30 days. Better to put the paper and calculate the thing. It is only less than 1 minute. Why we are using the software, right? For fetching the values, it's taking more than 20 days. So this approach is not good. Understand? So that's the reason those people are say that while you are declaring any variable, first of all, you need to specify where exactly. Understand? That means address. Okay, so in that case, this memory, these people are segregating in the different areas like this. Something like this. Okay, now the first block says that if it is a round number, that is called integer. So integer is a one village. Go to the integer village and see this is the integer is a village. Within that, for example, this 10 is there. What is the 10? So 10, before this I am using, what is that? I am telling that integer village. So go to the integer village and check this guy. Directly instead of the entire memory, it is directly where is the integer village. This is the integer village. That means almost 90% of the time is reduced. Right? Now within the integer village, what is the address? Container length. Oh, this is the memory block is a container length. Then pick the 10 directly. So to pick the particular value in whatever the quick way, these people are introducing some what about that syntaxes. Those are called what about that data types. What is that? Data types. Now before data types, understand every memory location our value is there. See guys, there is a myth actually. This is the variable, right? Variable not storing the data. Variable is here, see I all told you. This memory location name is a variable. Within the memory location, data is there. So now the definition of the variable is a name. It represents some particular memory location, not value. Everybody say that variable holds the value. Variable does not hold the value. Variable is a name. It represents, for example, whatever in our village, our surname is a variable. Whatever data type, variable guys. If you are going to some village, you are asking, hey, particular person. That person is unknown person. Then you say that the surname, some XYZ. Then the village people are easily knows. Oh, that guy is. That surname means, oh, that is the house. Then go to the house and pick your whoever want. Surname is our whatever the identity. Within the surname, so many people are there. That is the data. Same here. This is the memory location. The memory location name is container length. Within the memory location, your data is there. Clear? So variable does not hold the data. Variable is a representation of the memory location. So now variable definition is variable is a name. It represents some particular memory location, not value. Please guys, okay? Understand. Variable definition is variable is a name. It represents some particular memory location. Within the memory location, your data will be there. Understand? Now, before variable, see, this is the variable. This variable data where to store? Either, for example, here 10. This is the 7.6. For example, this is not a value. For example, this is the SFDC. Now, 10 is as a human being, it's a round number. 7.6, it is a decimal value. SFDC, it is a text value. Text means, in the technical, we call it a string. Okay? That means, user may be, the data may be, we are using these categories. Right? Maybe round number, maybe decimal number, maybe whatever text. Other types are there. I will introduce whenever it is possible. Okay? So, you need to tell them whenever you put the variable container length is equal to 10, hey, runtime engine, this value you can store in the integer block. Then runtime engine go to the memory and store this 10 value in the integer block. Again, this is the container width. Assume that it is a decimal. Whenever you are declaring before variable decimal, then whenever runtime engine come to here, 7.6, that guy don't know 7.6 is a number or decimal or text. Understand? Then it is immediately checking what is the type of data, decimal. Then it realized, I need to store this data in the decimal block. Then it is going to the 7.6, right? For example, here, assuming that this is the 7.6. This is the decimal. There is so many concepts are there, but that is the again it is going to the different way. Okay, so just I am consolidating. So now runtime engine come to memory and store that 7.6 in the decimal block here. Now here what do SFDC? SFDC. The runtime engine first come to the right side, SFDC. What is meant by SFDC? I need to store this data in this variable. Okay. The address name is clear. But where to store? Where to store? You need to declare string. So now here string. String is a one more block. Within the string, here it is storing our data. Now it is come to here. Okay, CH. What is meant by CH? Container height. This is the container height. So container height means string. The runtime engine, whenever it is come to the fourth line, it is one by one step, right? The runtime engine come to right to left. CH. What is meant by CH? Container height. What about that? The runtime engine don't know container height. Then it is checking what is the data type. What is the data type? String. Then go to the string block and get the container. What about that? Height value and replace it into container width. What is meant by container width? This is the container width. What is the data type? Decimal. Then go to the decimal block and get the value and replace it into container length. This is the container length. What is the data type? Integer. Then it is going to the integer block. Where is the container length? This is the container length. 10. 10 will be replaced. Now it is easily go to the particular block and easily access within the fraction of seconds, not fraction of seconds, fraction of milliseconds. Okay, then it is replaced. Then finally it is calculating and store that value into B. Again, we also one result, right? It is also integer or decimal or whatever it may be. So, like that, the runtime engine will be understand and allocating the memory. Understand? Clear, guys? Clear? So now here we are introducing two words. One is variable, one is data type. Now the definition is, what is meant by variable? Variable is a name. Variable is a name. It represents some particular memory location. Integer, decimal, string. What is the purpose? So it is directly fetching or replacing the data. Quick access. So data type means in this variable which type of data we are storing. So now the definition of the data type is which type of data we are storing in the particular variable. That type of data represent as a data type. See, in the container length is variable. In the variable, which type of data stored, that will be represented as a data type. Understand, data type is which type of data you need to store in the particular variable. That is called data type. See guys, everything, whatever those people are introducing, every whatever concept, there is a purpose. But we are not learning. So while you are starting the code, integer a is equal to 10. What is meant by integer a? How it is understand in the backend. This is the story behind that. So first, we need to store the data. So for that purpose, we require one name. This is the, for example, there is no name guys. 10 is there. 10. How we are pick the 10? Using the particular key. What is the key? Variable. So that's the reason the people are introducing the variables first. After that, why the people are introducing data type? If the variable is stored, but pick the data and store the data, it is very difficult, right? It is taking long time. So that's the reason for quick access, those people are whatever they're introducing the data types. Based on the data type, we are the runtime engine container height. Directly go into memory. What is the container height? Container height is an integer. Then it is directly going to the integer block and pick the data. If you are not put the integer, then it is checking total blocks. It is taking more time. Why we are using any application guys? Quick. Compare with the human brain, we need to do in the quick way, right? So here, what is that? These people are introducing the data type. Now, whenever you are declaring any variable in our coding, what is the syntax? First, you need to declare the data type, variable name, then value. Now see, what is the data type? 10 means every data type starting with the capital letter. Okay, see. And also, see, the color will be changed. The color is blue. That is called intent. Okay, that is a different concept. Integer is a blue color. That means it is a reserved keyword. Reserved keyword. Okay, we are using only this purpose. For example, integer, variable name is also integer. It should not work. Why? Because Salesforce already, it is a reserved keyword. You can use that integer only for data type purpose. Understand? Now, the other one. I don't want. So, declaring the variable, data type, variable name is equal to your value. Now see. Okay, but I told you some blah 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 story, right? A nonsense story. But what is the proof? See. This is the backend execute the runtime engine. Okay, see. What is the line number? 1. How it is executed, see. If you click on that, 1. What is the one line? Container length. It is a little bit high. If you understand, that is fine. If you understand, it is very good, guys. Okay? Why? Because whenever you are getting the exception, you are easily fix it in the real time. See, guys. Execution starts. User info. This is the batch 7. This user is running this code. Execution started. Where? Code unit started. External. Where it is started. And then we are running the anonymous window. Variable scope begin. Line C. Within the flower bracket, whatever number is there, that is called line numbers. So that's the reason, if you understand, any issue is occurred where the issue, which line got the issue, we are easily understand in the real time. So line number 1, container length, pipeline integer. So content length is a integer. The runtime engine understand, oh, in the line number 1, content length is integer. Then 79, in our code 79 is line is there? No, but why it is coming? 84, 399, 412, 520, 139. I already told you runtime engine is a one program. That program is running. So that program lines are this. Okay, now come down. Again, statement executed. See, keep allocated, right? Keep means memory. Memory is allocated. See, statement executed. Which statement? Line number 1. Keep allocated 1. Line number 1, keep allocated 4 bytes. That means that is also interview question, but I'm not sure how you guys are understand. So how much memory it is occupied in your code. So in the line number 1, it is occupied. Keep allocated means memory allocated. Who? Runtime engine. How much it is? 4 bytes. Now variable assignment. Once memory is allocated, that means memory is there. Then it is assigned the variable. Without memory, see, in your hard disk, without memory, how to store the movie? First of all, if you have the memory, then only you need to store the movie. Same like this is the variable. First, memory is allocated. That means memory is there. Within the memory, 10 is stored. See, variable assignment, container length 10. First, memory is allocated. After that, within the memory, the empty space memory 10 is allocated. Who? Runtime engine. Now, that's it, guys. Those are the different stories. Okay? Understand? This is the total in the background how it is executed. First, memory is allocated, then it is assigned. Okay? Now, time is over. We'll see you tomorrow the next sessions, guys. Okay, guys, if you are avoid this concept, that's fine, but if you need some skills compare with your colleagues or whatever may be, you must read it. Okay, if you are go to the Google Docs or wherever you go, these concepts are not available. This is completely my around like 11 years of my R&D. Okay, please understand this is the correct place. Please understand, try to whatever I said, please follow as it is. I will promise you, you will become good programmer. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thanks for your feedback. Okay, thank you.